Good afternoon. Welcome back to another edition of Pan-African Digest. I thank you for those of you who have subscribed to my channel on YouTube and also my Substack. Please try to support the work we do by subscription, and please do share our videos and also our articles. I write more than I speak. That's why I direct people to my blog. We'll give the links under this video so you can subscribe and then share it with your contacts. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Today we are going to discuss one of my articles which I wrote a few years ago, and I recently republished it. As I keep saying, our problem in Africa is that we take one step forward, we take more than 20 steps backward. I wrote this article more than 10 years ago. I call it We Did Not Vote for God. That was the title of the article. I recently republished it. You can find it on my blog. I will give the link after this video. In many of my writings, I spoke about our inability to think critically. The level of education of most of us, we apply emotions, we apply passions, but we hardly apply critical thinking to whatever we do. And I don't know how we're going to solve our problem unless people start using their brains to ask simple questions, which is exactly what I do. I don't claim to be an oracle. I don't claim to be know-all. I ask questions, especially of those who are leading us. The title of the article, We Did Not Vote for God. Why did I choose it? This is not a criticism of any religion. It is not directed against any pastor or apostle or whatever. It is basically to ask Africans, why do we listen to, especially those we elected, telling us that only God can solve our problem? We did not vote for God. We voted for people who campaign on their own volition. Nobody forced them. They came out with their slogan, posters, whatever. They campaign that they can solve problems. We've queue up in hot suns, in rain, in everything to vote for them. They get paid handsomely because they determine their own salaries and allowances and whatever. We see them driving up and down in their big jeeps, with their siren and everything. They drive us off the road, even though they claim to be serving us. We do all these things, and then when it comes to buying their presidential jets, when it comes to buying their V8 vehicles, when it comes to they are going abroad for treatment for headache or whatever, they never ask for God intervention. It is when they are supposed to provide some services to the ordinary people. That's when we see them giving excuses about only God can solve problems. We're giving it to God. Something happened in Nigeria recently which made me very angry. The federal ministry in Nigeria of Greek or something sent posters out. They are going to hold a seminar on how to stave off hunger. This is the year 2025, and a minister or a ministry in Africa, officials who get paid from the state to do a job, they came out to kind of ask people to be praying to stave off hunger. I consider that an insult. What do we need to pay people when the only thing they do is to pray to God? Why do we go to ministry and people are telling us, only God can solve this problem, only God can solve that problem? The problem I see here is that we don't even, ordinary citizens, we seem to accept this as normal, which is another thing which I criticize in my writings. Our acceptance of the abnormal is really crippling our efforts to develop. Some things are just too abnormal for us to accept from those who govern us. No elected leader, no minister should come and tell us that we should come and queue up to pray to God before they can provide the tools for our farmers to provide enough food. What is the essence of having our independence? What is the essence of having all institutions of statehood if we still have to wait for God to come and solve our problems? The question we have to ask ourselves is, Do these elected leaders, do they attend the same institutions, the same schools with their counterparts abroad? Do they watch the news? Do they follow the global news? Do they see what the Chinese are doing? Do they see what the Europeans are doing, the Americans, despite their problems? Do they see what is happening there? Where do people in the year 2025 ask citizens to pray to God before they can get food? Why is it only in Africa that we turn every abnormal things, we normalize it? And nobody's protesting, nobody's making noise. We are busy family, I mean, give it to God. In Yoruba, we drag the gods into earthly affairs, into normal things that we should be doing for ourselves. Why did God create and give us brains if not to think? These are the questions we should be asking. I also mentioned in my article that there are two, until we can get these two albatrosses, we took from foreigners, that is imported religions, and this so-called democracy. I often write that a European who comes to Africa and see what we call democracy will be demoralized. They will not understand what we are doing, what we call democracy. What do? The Europeans have a few weeks every 4 years to vote for governments, except in countries like Belgium and Netherlands, which is another case, which I'm not going to touch here. The political election seasons are made to appear, the calendar for elections are for 4 years. So, few months to the election, people go out to make campaign, they support whatever. But a few hours after the election, the results are announced, government is formed, everybody go home and forget about the election until the next cycle. What do we have in Africa? We're electioneering from 24/7, Monday through Wednesday. We're shouting on radio, on television. We have MPP, NDC in Ghana. We have APC, PDP in Nigeria. We have all this. What do they do? Wasting our years, wasting our time. Talking about the same nonsense they've been talking since we embraced Western style democracy about 4 decades ago. What problem have they solved? They are reacting, the old accusing each other, blackmailing each other, shouting, and then we give them space, we give them tribune. It's like we allow them to abuse us. They don't come out with policies that, they always have, what they call it, manifesto, which is copy and paste affairs. But in this age, we don't ask our leaders, please show us show us your programs, show us your website where we can go and scrutinize what you are going to do. No, we never ask those. And then our media and those our so-called political scientists, they keep on repeating the same thing without critically asking these people, provide us with your plans which we can scrutinize. In 4 years after we voted you into power, we can come back and start marking you, scoring you, giving you scoring scores. But our radio, our television, all our media are consumed with stupid political insults. We give these politicians, so it's like we give them space to keep on abusing us. The second one is religion, which is another phenomenon which it's like we took to it the way starving hyenas took to meat. Everything now is about God in the affairs of men. Why should that be? Why should we expect miracles? Let's assume that miracles happen in the olden days, in the Old Testament and things like that. Why do we expect those things to happen in 2025? Why do we expect manna to fall from skies? Why do we expect the gods or the angels to come and feed us? This is a question we never agitate us, and I think this is a serious question that really should agitate us. How do we close to 70 years. Ghana declared independence. Nigeria is 65 years. How do we look at ourselves and say 65 years of nationhood? We still cannot feed ourselves. We still cannot provide enough textile to clothe ourselves, and we rely on imports to build our houses. We should consider this shameful, really. I keep giving our references to China. There are 1-something billion of them. They are providing for themselves. They don't rely on it, they don't call on any god. They don't ask for any assistance from NGO or from IMF or European Union or whatever. These are things we should develop self-pride. How can we go to church 24/7 and expect miracles to happen? How do we turn our farms and our plantations into mega churches and mega Holy Ghost spirit or whatever? And we expect, we pretend not to understand why we are starving or why the prices of food are very high. It could be that there are miracles. I don't know about that one, but what I know is that these days you either plan what you eat or you have to look for money to buy them. You can pray until now, or you can pray from now until the end of wherever, without doing a thing. Nothing will happen. Let's assume that they are commercial people. They're trying to make money. What about those who we elected into offices? Why do we accept that from them? It is time the next time a minister come and tell you that only God can solve economic problem, ask him to show you example of where God has solved economic problem for anybody. There are people, there are pastors who said praying to arrest the sinking city or the sinking naira, that God they can pray and without productivity, how can your currency be strong? If you spend your time, if you spend your waking hours praying, supplicating, or dancing in churches, or speaking in tongues, and you expect your economy to grow, and you expect your currency to be strong, I think you're just dreaming. And why don't we ask the ministers and the presidents, the next time you're going to buy, you ask for appropriation to buy your latest jet or your latest V8, we ask you also to go and pray. Let's, as Africans, let's stop accepting insults from those we elected, and let us take them on. They go abroad for treatment. Our hospital, we are dying in hospitals because of a lack of facilities. Why do we find that acceptable? The children are studying abroad because they didn't pay enough attention to our universities, or our secondary schools, or our primary schools. They don't care because the children are there. Why don't we start asking if you're going to be our leader, are you going to be using the same facilities as we do, ordinary citizens? If not, why not? Those are the questions we should be asking these leaders. Unless it's like they're taking us for granted. They understand our psychology that throw religion at them, throw tribalism at them, throw xenophobia at them. They will lap it up, and then you can continue your shitty game. It's time we become interested in ourselves as Africans. We should take ourselves seriously. We should we should follow global news, see what is happening in other lands. I always mention China, because we came from the same era as the Chinese, and we really should feel ashamed that they're so far ahead and we're so downward. 70 years of independence, we're still begging IMF for loan because our leaders are busy praying, or they're busy focusing our attention on praying. Enough is enough. We should tell them we're tired of all this asking us to pray or to. Religion, as often said, is a very personal thing. It becomes public when people want to show off. Nobody's interested. I'm not interested in anybody's religion. How you relate to your God is your business. You don't bring that into public space, and you don't, especially in offices where you get paid. Why should I go to hospital and the doctor telling me that We are starting the day with prayer. Are you my pastor? I didn't come to hospital for prayer, I come for treatment. But our people accept it. It has been normalized. And they look at you strangely when you tell the doctor, please, don't turn an official state institution to your private chaplain. Why are we afraid to challenge these idiosyncrasies? And how do we want to move forward when we accept all this nonsense from those who we paid to manage our affairs? Why should children go to school and be made to pray? Did we send our children to seminary? We send them to school, we pay their school fees so they get a good education, quality education. But they start the day with prayer, they end the day with what are we trying to do? And why don't we ask ourselves, all this investment, what have we gained from all this investment in praying? Look, that's a very simple question to ask. Why do we expect things to change when we keep on doing the same thing? No, it's not an insult on anybody's religion or anybody's faith. It's just simply asking ourselves basic questions. If you get affronted, just show an example. This is what Africans have gained from all their years of investment in new religion. Then I will shut up. It is as simple as that. Once again, I thank you for watching this podcast, and I thank those of you who have subscribed to my YouTube and my blog. And please, I will appreciate if you kindly share this. The links we are going to show after this video. Thank you very much. Until next time when we come your way. Ireo.